Awesome. That was a great introduction. Thanks, Sid. Yeah. So Facebook groups, I'm going to be teaching you how to monetize them. And Arnie just gave you a great presentation. So if you don't have a Facebook group yet, jump on it. How many of you here have a Facebook group? You do? How many of you have over 1,000 members in your Facebook group? Sweet. I feel like getting to that 1,000-person mark, that's when the Facebook group actually takes on a life of its own. So it's a hustle to get to that 1,000-point mark, but that's when I finally started monetizing my Facebook group. So don't give up on your Facebook group right away. Try to get to that 1,000 mark, and then you can start monetizing. So what are you going to learn in this presentation? I'm going to teach you how to strategically empathize with your target audience to turn members into buyers. I'm going to teach you how to monetize your group and produce 50K months without coming off salesy and without using any other marketing channels. And then number 3, I'm going to show you some other stuff that's pretty cool. So some cool things I've done. Jeff kind of went over it, but I quit my 9-to-5 job in August of 2017. About 8 months ago. I was doing 50 phone calls a day, cold calls for Salesforce. It sucked. I hated it and didn't want to do it. Quit my job. Actually, in July, I bought Dan Henry's Facebook Ads for Entrepreneurs course. That's where I started and started to learn agency. Then I had my first 10K agency month in October of 2017. And that's because I quit my job and I focused 110% on my agency and just went all in on that. And that's when I saw the most growth. When you're side hustling, like I took Ty Lopez's SMMA course, and I was side hustling for the longest time and didn't see any results. When I quit my job, focused 110% on something that could produce results, which was Dan Henry's method, I just saw my agency take off. Then I started my Facebook group in November of 2017. And then I launched my first online product in December of 2017. And then in the past 4 months, so January to April, I was able to generate over $200,000 from my Facebook group alone. So Facebook group and my personal page, because I use both to sell. So that's been pretty cool. So how do you turn Facebook friends and group members into buyers? So post your story in other groups. You want to max out that 5,000 friends that you have on your personal page. And then you want to use the 5 empathy story posts that turn members into buyers. So that is really blurry, but you want to post your story into other groups. So this first one, so why you want to post your story in other groups is because you want people to fall in love with your story and ultimately look at your profile. And if you set up your profile as like that funnel that Arnie was showing you, people will go to your group. So when you post your story on in other groups, and the main key here is in your story, praise the community and praise the product if it is a paid group. So this first one, the ClickFunnels group, is freaking awesome. Like it's like shooting fish in a barrel. You put your story out there and you will get massive, massive engagement. So I posted that just a few days ago, got over 600 people to engage with it. And I do everything on ClickFunnels. So I praise the community. I was like, hey, you guys are awesome. If I didn't have ClickFunnels, I wouldn't be able to get to this point with my business. I build my websites with it. I build my clients' funnels with it. I have my courses on ClickFunnels. You guys are awesome, awesome, awesome. I throw in a little tidbit of how I dealt with depression for half a decade. Put that little tidbit in there, really put yourself out there. And then I just said, thank you, Russell, you're awesome, all that good stuff. And got over 600 people to engage with it. Number 2 was Ty Lopez's. So another key, if you are in paid groups, I'm sure a lot of you guys know, if you buy one course, you are buying multiple courses. So if you post in paid groups and get people to go to your profile and join your group, that's a higher quality lead to join your group and ultimately buy your products. So if you're posting in paid groups, you'll get a higher quality person in your actual free group, and then they'll probably buy your products. So I posted in Ty Lopez's, I bought his SMMA course, and he actually featured me on his Instagram there. So that was pretty cool. And then I posted in Dan Henry's group and had a little douchey screenshot of my Stripe account. So that always works well too. So tell your story, praise the community, thank them so much, and then, give a little bit of your story. So 5,000 friends equals 5,000 leads. So if you think about YouTube, you think of them as subscribers. If you think about Instagram, you think of them as followers. We don't really think about Facebook as that way. We think of them as friends. But if you think of them as like leads, like you kind of do with YouTube and Instagram, you've got to change it into a sales channel. So setting it up, make your profile funnel, and then every post should be something that brings your leads into your world. So you get the highest quality leads when you add friends from paid groups. So you actually don't have to be a part of that paid group. You can actually see people that have bought a product and are a part of that paid group, and you can go in there and friend request them anyhow. And then you can also add friends from that engage with your posts. It's going to be a higher quality person to join or look at your profile and ultimately join your Facebook group. And also, if you are an agency owner and you are like just going after chiropractors, join those chiropractic groups and just help people slide into the DMs and try to get them to look at your profile and join your group as well. And then the 5 empathy posts that turn members into buyers. So I took this from Expert Secrets. So you want to encourage their dreams, justify their failures, ally their fears, confirm their suspicions, and throw rocks at their enemies. So the rocks that I throw aren't at other marketers. I hate when people go into the ClickFunnels group and start those fake fights with each other. So my enemy is kind of society, break out of that 9-to-5 job, and that's everybody's enemy. And you want to empathize through these stories so you can easily persuade leads into sales. And I wish you guys could read this because this is a good example of allying people's fears with this post. What I did here was I talked about cold sales tactics and how they are very nerve-wracking. When I was starting out, I kind of thought back and really tapped into my emotions, how I felt when I was first starting. I would drive past gyms that I knew were good targets, and I was like, I just don't feel like it. I don't feel like going in today. Or I would hang up a phone call because I got yelled at in the last phone call. Or I wouldn't send out emails the next morning because I just none of the emails were working. So I'm empathizing with them, allying their fears, saying it's okay to feel that way. And then ultimately at the end, I say I got over that by just taking action. And when ultimately I just took the action and I felt a lot better about myself and started building up momentum. So I was allying their fears there, empathizing with them, and that's really bringing people into your world. And when you can make your story posts hit one of these categories, you'll bring people into your world and you're empathizing them so you can persuade them ultimately to buy your product. Then monetizing. There are 3 keys to monetizing your Facebook group. Turn your Facebook group into a testimonial hub. That's huge, huge, huge. Arnie touched on it a little bit. I'll show the pre-launch strategies that I use, and then the actual launch posts that involve social stacking and the Facebook Live to overcome objections. So turn your Facebook group into a testimonial hub. This is why Facebook groups are so much better than YouTube channels and Instagram and all that. because you have raving fans in your Facebook group, and when people post in your Facebook group about your product or service, they're going to see it, and you'll be 100 times more likely to get that sale. So if you're just posting it to your Instagram, like a screenshot of the testimonial, or on YouTube or anything like that, it's totally different than a person who actually used your product, them posting it themselves in a Facebook group. And if you think you have enough testimonials in your group, you don't. I ask for testimonials all the freaking time because I know the more times people see testimonials and that my products work and that people get results from them, I will get so much more sales. So keep asking for those testimonials and just get a bunch in your group. That's really why I think I've sold so many courses over the past 4 months. So I cluster my testimonials. So I sell in my Facebook group and on my personal page because I get pretty good engagement on both. So what I'll do is if I get testimonials in my Facebook group, take screenshots of the testimonials, cluster them together, and put them on my personal page, and then either write a story or do a product launch with them. So when you see that Julian made $4,200, one retainer for $4,200 for a month, and Andrew just landed a $2,000 a month retainer, and Tony landed a $3,000 month retainer, and my course costs $500, and that's what I'm asking for, people are gonna buy. So repost your testimonials. Again, another way to do it is post a testimonial and then put a story above the testimonial. So I never put like a product link in there. I don't highlight, I'll put the course name, but I won't go like deep into the course. I will praise the person who actually produced the result. Julian took the action on the information I was telling him and just absolutely crush it. So that's what my post says. Like, you did it, buddy. You're awesome. So happy that this happened for you. So again, get testimonials on your launch post, so cluster them together. Oh, no, actually, when you're doing a launch post, so we'll get into that in a second, but it's good to get actual testimonials in the comments of your launch post. So for every group or every course that I have, I create a messenger chat, and it's really good for them to interact and get answers right away. In the messenger chat, if they have any questions on like client acquisition or messenger bots. Those are my two courses. And then if I have a launch post, I'll go in there and say, hey guys, if this course has helped you, can you drop a comment on this post that I just put up, and I'll give them the link and then get testimonials directly on the post. It goes a long, long ways. So pre-launch strategies. Number one, talk about the topic every single day leading up to the launch. Number two, ask for people to post testimonials. Again, testimonials, testimonials, testimonials. I get annoying with those, but they sell. And then post stories about how you became the authority in this space. So those story posts that I was talking about. So just make sure before you do a launch post that you have a little bit of a pre-launch. Just make sure you have like a theme for that week. So if, for me, I just recently did a launch post for client acquisition, and I just talked about client acquisition leading up to the actual launch post. So the launch, there's a launch post, and this is how I do it. There's a launch post, and then there's an overcoming objections live. So what does the launch post look like? So first, over here on the left, these are the things that I have sold in my group and on my personal page. Masterclasses, which are freaking awesome. I didn't start doing them until I did my first one with Jeff, and he absolutely crushes doing masterclasses now. It's like a $49 to $97 live. You send people a Zoom link. You record it live where you go over some PowerPoint slides, and then you can sell the recording to that. So it's an hour to 2 hours. You're going over something super specific. So as you can see in the actual post, I've there are a bunch of freaking lines because I'm telling exactly what they're getting from joining the Masterclass, from being there. So you want to value stack the crap out of it, tell them exactly what they're getting, the questions that you're going to answer, and I wish it wasn't so freaking fuzzy, but I'm sure you guys will get these slides, so check those out. And then at the end, you want to tell them how they can actually join the Masterclass, which is basically, hey, comment, and also give this a heart because I prefer hearts over likes or something stupid like that. So you can sell Masterclasses, and what's really cool is you get 20 to 40 people on the Masterclass, and then you can sell the recordings after that a month later. And you can actually also create like funnel stores. So Jeff has one where he has all his master classes in one place, and they can buy them for $97 a piece, or just buy them all at once, which will probably total $1,200 if they buy them all together. So that's pretty cool. I've also sold a lot of bot templates. Some of you might have some of my bot templates, funnel templates, all the good stuff, courses, and a little bit of high ticket through these launch posts. And one thing I want to mention is if you're planning on building out a course, do not build out the course before you launch it. So you should have a beta program taking on 10 to 20 people and work with them directly to figure out what your content should really be. I've seen a lot of people build out a course first, and then it just totally flops and they didn't put the right content in there, or they don't get enough people into the actual course and they're disheartened because they put so much work into it. If you do a beta launch for 10, 20 people and work with them directly, you can figure out that content that you actually want to put into your course. So for my beta launches, I've charged anywhere from $300 to $800. Don't stress yourself out. I have a student in one of my programs right now that did a course launch for $3,000, and he hasn't gotten results for them. And he's super stressed out because he's been working with them for 2 months. So don't charge too much. Don't charge an arm and a leg. $300 to $800 is pretty good. I like that range. So the post-launch live. So I like to do this whenever I'm doing a launch for anything over $500, where I'll try to overcome all their objections. I'll think of all the objections that they might have, and then take any questions on the Facebook Live. A couple other cool things. I like the look of the inside of courses. So one day I decided to just take the screenshot of what my course looked like. I put 2 lines. I said, oh, it looks so sexy. And I got 2 sales from just putting this out there. That's $2,000 in my pocket that I wouldn't have if I didn't put those 2 stupid lines and a screenshot. So be hyping up your course every single day. Either put like a post in your story, or put it on your personal page, or put it in your group. And it doesn't need to be salesy. It can just be a stupid picture of the inside of your course saying it's sexy. And it actually got over 79 reactions to it. It's like, why? Why is that happening? And it got me sales. So just always be hyping up your course, because people will get into your group and not even know you have a course, unless you're constantly promoting it. And it doesn't need to be salesy promotions. It can be something stupid. And Arnie ruined this for me. So this is what you can do to get people to comment that they bought your course and put the link in. But here's what the thank you page can look like. And it says, go to the 6-figure digital marketer group, and they can hit that button, and they have to copy and paste this text, and then they just copy and paste it into the course, or into the group area. And I would say out of like every 5 people that post this, I think I get a sale directly from those posts, because I put the link in. Again, people won't know like if you have a course or not. So if somebody else is posting it with a link, or they might lose the link, whatever, you provide it right there for them. So yeah, that's me. I thought I was going to take questions, but apparently we're taking them all together. So I don't have questions, and I don't have a bit.ly link. So this 6-figure digital marketer, if you guys want to find me, and join me on Facebook. So, cool. Thanks.